Today we're going to work on some calf raise progressions. Now, this may be affecting you when you're walking, running, jogging, going upstairs, downstairs. Maybe you just wanted to start to strengthen your feet because they've been flat for a long time and you want to get ahead of it before it causes any pain and discomfort. Whatever your reason, we're going to go through these calf raise progressions, and it's important that we start by noting two primary groups of muscles we're going to look at. One is the gastrocenemius, which is going to actually cross the knee joint, and the other is the soleus, which is deep to the gastrocnemius. It's a pretty thin muscle, and it does not cross the knee joint. That's important because we're going to show two different motions here and body positions. One is going to be straight-legged. That's going to affect that larger gastrocnemius muscle. The other one's going to be knees bent at least 60 degrees, if not more, to cut out the gastroc entirely, focusing on that deeper soleus muscle. Now, both of these muscles are critical. When you do this exercise, you may well find that one is weaker than the other. Now, of course, we always want to shoot for symmetry. So to start things off, we're going to grab a ball, lacrosse ball, tennis ball. You're going to put this in between your heels and try to level out your feet so that way your toes and heels are facing neutral. Now, we're going to slowly raise our heels up as high as possible, slowly back down. Now, if you can do this just in space, fantastic. If you need to support something like the wall, hold onto a counter, please do that as well because technique is critical. All these exercises are more than just building the muscle, but they're also focused, clinically speaking, on guiding and controlling our body through space. So you might find yourself wobble side to side. Just take note of that. Next time, focus a bit more. Be very intentional with your movements. We want to make sure the heels are locked in. That's what's nice about using the ball here. It locks your heels in a certain position, really working the posterior tibialis muscle. Now, if we're ready to get into our soleus, we're going to bend to at least 60 degrees and do the same thing. Go as high as you can, slowly back down. So for this one, I can notice that going back down, or that eccentric movement, is a bit more ratchety, not so smooth. That's something that I want to focus a bit more on. So if you find the same issue, please make sure you take the time to work through that, to smooth out that movement. Next progression, we're going to load up our body, rest up against the wall a little bit, focusing on our soleus. So we're bent to at least that 60 degrees. And I'm just going to raise up the heels. High as I can, bring them back down. Feel the body burning and those muscles working. Now, through any of these exercises, if you start to feel like you can handle more, then think about tempo. Don't worry about putting weight on your body, but rather handling the tempo. So we might go 3 seconds up, 2, 3, and take a slow 6 seconds back down. Let the body really focus on controlling the feet, the heels, the entire foot, in fact, through space. 3 seconds up, 6 seconds down. Working through that ratchety area. Now the next, final one for today, we're going to face the wall again. Start with our standard both leg calf raises, working the gastrocnemius. Slowly down, again, playing around with the tempo. Maybe 3 seconds up, 6 seconds down. Control is so much more important. Then dropping into a bit of a squat, at least 60 degrees of knee flexion, and then working on soleus. Perhaps in this movement you start to notice, let's go into one leg. You're only going to go into one leg once the two-legged side of the exercise becomes easy. Even with a slow tempo, you notice the two sides together are too easy for you. Now, one leg is very important because you're running, you're walking, most of that's done on one leg at a time, right? So we want to make sure that we can control each leg independently and we're not cheating by one leg taking over and hiding those discrepancies, okay? So take your time, work through these muscles, work through focusing intentionally on how your body and your foot is moving in space to try to keep things nice and neutral so it doesn't result in any sort of pains when you're taking your steps throughout the day or exercising. Have fun.